Greetings and welcome to the SECC Coordinator Training webinar. This webinar is being created for coordinators that were unable to attend a training session and those who work across the state. I'm going to try and get through this information that you need to run the campaign with in about 15 or 20 minutes. My name is Maggie Clifton and I work as a statewide coordinator for the SECC. It's my responsibility to assist coordinators throughout the campaign and provide materials. I also help out with some of the behind-the-scenes processing work. I'm based out of Indiana United Ways, and we've had a contract with the state to run and process this campaign for many years. This is my fourth campaign season with the SECC, and I'm super excited to get the 2017 campaign going. Melissa Thomas with State Personnel is also a statewide SECC coordinator, and it's her responsibility to help coordinators find the information they need. You'll become more familiar with her as a coordinator when you're turning in pledge forms and getting materials and reading about the campaign in the state's newsletters. You'll learn more about our work together during the webinar. The State Employees Community Campaign is an annual campaign that allows state employees to donate to any 501c3 charitable organization through the ease of payroll deduction or one-time gifts. Last year, state employees raised more than $1.47 million, and that went to more than 1,500 charities, not only charities in Indiana, but across the country and even around the world. This year, we've set a higher goal at $1.45 million, and I'm excited to see the state reach that goal. Now I'll run through some more information about this year's campaign. The campaign chair is Bruno Piggott, who is the Commissioner for the Indiana Department of Environmental Management, and he'll be around at several of the SECC events this year, including a special ice cream social fundraiser in October that he's hosting. Look for more information on that to come. This year's campaign will kick off on August 31st at the State House Market with an adult recess celebration. So this is different than we've done in other years. If your agency is located at the Indiana Government Center campus, then we encourage you to rally your peers to come play and learn more about the 11 different charitable organizations that will be hosting different games and activities. The campaign will wrap up by November 3rd, and the award ceremony will be hosted in March of 2018. Your role as a coordinator is very important for the success of the State Employees Community Campaign. You're in charge of managing and communicating about the campaign in your agency. Make sure that every employee knows what the SECC is and make the case for giving. You're also in charge of monitoring how close your agency is to its goal and making sure that pledge forms are turned in correctly. Don't worry, if you get questions that you aren't sure how to answer, I'm here to help. We want to be your SECC resource for you during the campaign. The SECC website has a variety of resources for campaign coordinators. In red are some of the resources that you will likely use the most often. Many of these materials will also be sent to you before the campaign in your coordinator training folder. Here's what it will look like online. So at insecc.org, you can see some more information about the campaign, and then over here we have our coordinator toolbox. And this has links to different informational one-pagers, some posters, and I also want to highlight some of the pre-campaign letters and thank you letter templates that we have available. Now's the time to be thinking about how can we get the word out about the campaign, and some of those letter samples might be a good tool for you. And again, even with that letter, if you get your commissioner or agency head to send it out to all of the employees at your agency, it's a good way to show top-level support and to bring more attention to the campaign. The state giving record here shows how the campaign has progressed over the last 5 years. As you can see, the dollars raised by state employees through the SECC continues to increase. I want to highlight the large amount that comes from leadership givers like champions and torchbearers. Sorry about that. It's very important to try and target these giving groups during the campaign. We also have individual giving records for each agency, so feel free to shoot me an email if you want to learn more about yours. When you look at the breakdown for your own agency, think about what kind of goal you might want to set. Are you hoping to increase participation or increase the number of leadership givers or just increase the amount raised? There are different strategies that you can implement to get that achieved at your agency. I also want to note that the SECC rolls over payroll pledges each year unless the employee tells us otherwise. This helps so employees don't have to make the same pledge every year unless they want to change something about it. So when you log in, you'll have access to see how your agency is doing, and on that first day, it will probably look pretty good from the start because of that continuous giving that the campaign does. Here are some quick steps to success. The email from your commissioner or agency head is one way to show top-level support for the campaign. You might also use the state giving record to set a challenging goal. You might want to bring in your friends to start a committee at your agency. If it's a large agency or different regions, you might want to think about how to get some employees from those different groups involved. And most of all, have fun. The SECC is meant to be a positive campaign for your work. It's supposed to build some camaraderie and encourage fun through some of the different events. Does your agency have a monthly or quarterly staff meeting in place? Does one fall during the campaign period? If so, then have SECC put on the agenda. The employee group meeting is one of the most successful ways to rally support for the SECC. It can really range from about 5 to 20 minutes, and I can help arrange a charity to come in and share more about what they do. Or I could even come in and talk about ePledge and how easy it is to give. You can go around the room and have people share certain connections that they might have with nonprofits, which shows other buy-in from peers. Employees can donate in a variety of ways. We always encourage payroll deduction because it is easy for the donor, the coordinator, and processing. When employees give through payroll deduction, there's a minimum donation of $1 per pay. The payroll pledge that they make in the fall will take effect starting with the first payroll of 2018 and go through the end of the calendar year. One-time gifts have a minimum of $5. Employees can also do one-time gifts online and on paper pledge forms. Here's an example of a paper pledge form. The paper pledge forms will be available soon for pickup, or they can also be delivered. We're still waiting for final approval on this year's form, but we'll keep you updated once we have it. So it's really important that when employees are filling out the paper pledge form that we're getting all of the information we need, what kind of pledge it is, what agency they're with. We do ask for a charity code, and if you aren't sure how to find that, I'll move back over to our website to show you where you can find that. So over here on the left, find a charity code, and you can search kind of by city or county, or if you have a certain organization in mind, you could do, if you're thinking about a Boys and Girls Club or Boy Scouts, if you put that in, different options will come up. But that number on the left is the code that you want to have people put on the pledge form. And if they donate through ePledge, it walks them through that anyway, so it's a little bit easier. And because our campaign, you can give to any 501c3, we're continuously adding new nonprofits to our charity code search tool. But if they do not have luck finding it, they can write it in with the write-in option on the right. So we ask that they put the name and the address. That way we can kind of verify which one it might be and where it's located, and verify that it's a 501c3. As the coordinator, you'll be collecting the paper pledge forms, and once you get a stack, or if you notice that you've had cash or checks donated, you'll want to put them in a report envelope, note on the front what's in there, and submit it to state personnel or mail it to me. So if you're located at the government center, state personnel is in the south building on the very west end. So you can drop it off there or mail it directly to my office. Again, ePledge will open and go live on August 31st. If an employee gets locked out or has problems logging in, feel free to have them call or email me. I'll have to be the one to assist with that. There's also certain access to reports that you'll have as a campaign coordinator. And there's a one-pager under the coordinator toolbox that walks you through what those different reports are and how to access them. Okay. There are many ways to make the campaign fun through special events and incentives. Some agencies have bake sales, others offer Gene Days for champion-level givers. Are there any creative ways that you can get your agency excited about the campaign? Special events can raise quick dollars, and those funds are usually collected by the coordinator, placed in a report envelope, and sent to me or Melissa at SPD, depending on where you're located. Please do not turn in coins. You can turn in cash, check, money order, but we cannot accept coins. For special events, keep in mind that it's easiest to pick one charity to receive the funds for a certain event, or to have the winner of the game pick the charity that the dollars go to. So for example, if you're charging employees $5 to dress up for a Halloween costume contest, you don't want to have each employee each fill out their own pledge form with a $5 gift and state who they want it to go to. Instead, say that you can donate $5 and wear a costume and the funds go to charity X, Y, or Z. So that just makes it a little easier for you to process as you think through those events. The SECC has an annual awards ceremony where we recognize per capita giving, champion level giving, and largest percent increase by agency size. So this is more recognizing agency-wide awards. Last year, more than 100 agencies received an award of some kind. Within your agency, there are also individual awards. Champion givers donate 1/2 hour's pay per pay period, and torchbearer givers donate more than $1,000 each year, which is about $40 per pay. Each of these are recognized through pins, and torchbearers are invited to a special reception each year. Quick reminders, e-pledge and the campaign kick off August 31st. As you're getting paper pledge forms and e-pledge notification emails, make sure that the donor is keeping a copy of that. Around March, you'll likely start to get questions about what they need for tax filing season, and all they need is a copy of their pledge form and their payroll stub. The website has all of the resources we talked about today, and don't be afraid to email or call me with any questions that come up. The most important thing is that we want to keep the campaign and that we are we want to keep the campaign fun and that we're taking the time to do this for a good cause. State employees are raising more than $1 million each year, and it's benefiting more than 1,500 charities in our local communities around the world. It's definitely something to be excited about, so thank you so much for taking the time to talk about the campaign and support it at your agency. Here's my contact information. Thank you for viewing the webinar.